I've got a gentleman that's in the middle of nowhere, unsure if he's potentially lost consciousness. We're working off of eastings and northings at the moment.
What happens if you have a medical emergency in one of the most remote parts of Europe?
Ambulance service, whereabouts in Scotland is the emergency?
Stornowit's potentially severed his arm.
Glencoe Mountain Resort Ski Centre. There's blood pouring out a mouth.
It's in the middle of a field at Loch Ness.
Challenges we've got in Scotland are unique. It's a massive landmass to cover. Finding trauma patients is like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
There's no nearby road. It's not vehicular and accessible.
A pioneering new service, the Scottish Trauma Network, is rising to the challenge.
He's a confirmed head injury with loss of consciousness. We're looking for patients who have sustained trauma, who are seriously unwell.
End call.
Emergency call, trauma team by road.
I'm going to task you by air.
Bringing the hospital to the hillside.
We are on scene attempting a land-on, over.
It's almost like the patient is coming to a hospital, but it's just a small square on a hillside.
It's amazing what they can do in the middle of a field.
We'll see the decisions that are made by this elite network of clinicians, expert call handlers, and specialist lifesavers.
Ready, brace, move.
Combined under one new super service.
The patients are being brought to the hospital having had these extraordinary treatments delivered in the field, did not previously survive.
We're on the rooftop of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Glasgow.
Now we are going to see survivors.
Hello?
I understand you're there with David, is that right?
Yes.
And I understand that David's been headbutted by a cow?
Yeah.
In Scotland, more than 500 999 calls are made from remote locations every single day.
If he's got a head injury, he's going to trump the current retrieval they're on.
Yeah.
But we're going to be a good 40 minutes before we can get somebody there to them, trauma team-wise.
On the major trauma desk in Glasgow, a specialist clinician can listen in, deciding which patients need an elite medical team.
We're actually sending a helicopter, and I believe you may have a number of horses in the area.
Don't worry about them, they'll be fine.
I would rather if you can put them away. It's just horses and helicopters don't mix.
Yeah.
But challenging terrain, distance and poor weather conditions can sometimes make it difficult to reach the most critically ill patients.
When you're flying in and around Scotland's mountains, and when weather does change, it can be quite an unforgiving environment to be in. It becomes particularly dangerous. It's a safety thing that keeps us on the ground.
Trauma advice.
Trauma desk receiving, go ahead.
Doctors just take away with a couple of stand-time due to bad weather.
If you're in a very small helicopter flying about Scotland, then you know what turbulence is. I don't like roller coasters, and sometimes it gets a little bit like a roller coaster.
Yes, that's all received. Standing down, heading back to base.
We would never risk anything. It's always a safety margin on everything we do. It can be very frustrating, especially if it's a really injured patient and you know that sometimes it can be the difference between life and death.
Ambulance service. Is the patient breathing?
Yeah, I think he's having a fit.
Is it okay? Tell me exactly what happened.
He's just fallen through a roof. I think he's hit his head pretty badly.
How far did he fall?
About 12 feet maybe.
Okay, is there any serious bleeding?
Yeah, there's a lot of blood.
Okay. Is the blood coming from his head wound?
Yeah, blood coming from his head. Dad, be still.
I'm organising the help for you just now, okay? Stay on the line.
14 miles north of Glasgow, in the rural village of Torrance, a farmer has fallen through the roof of a barn.
What's the gentleman's name?
Andrew.
So is he conscious at the moment, or is he unconscious?
Oh, he's unconscious.
Unconscious.
There's blood coming out of his ear as well.
Okay.
Gordy, sorry to interrupt. He's bleeding from the ears.
Oh, emergency call. Trauma team by road, trauma team by roads.
Heading for Torrance. We've got a male falling through a roof, a head injury, a possible fit, unconscious 55-year-old male.
EMRSI phase.
Check.
Quick response back.
Check.
Consultant Dave and paramedic Ben are the specialist trauma team tasked to Torrance, approximately 30 minutes by road.
So this is a gentleman that clinically looks like he's got a significant head injury and could have a whole host of other injuries after falling from a height such as he has.
As well as the trauma team, 2 ambulance crews are sent to the scene to assist with the patient.
If a job comes in and the word farm is in the title, I will always look at it very quickly because there are a number of things that can cause significant traumatic injury on farms. There's lots of machinery, lots of animals that can cause very significant injury.
That's where he's fallen through.
How do you know it?
Because I viewed it. It was up for sale about 2 years ago and I viewed it. So the wee houses up there, they're massive. They're like big old post-war stuff. He's not going to fall from that height and not have a decent injury, I would imagine.
The first of 2 nearby ambulance crews have just arrived on scene.
5740, you're receiving, over?
Yeah, we're receiving. I've just got to the scene, mate.
Yeah, roger. It was just advised that we have tasked the trauma team.
3353.
53 from trauma desk. Hi guys, give me a quick update before the crew on scene to report that the patient has fallen approximately 50 foot. As initially reported, he sustained a head injury and does have evidence of blood from the ear.
Yeah, cheers Dave, that's all received. We are fighting through a bit of traffic on the M8.
Delays in reaching people can be frustrating, but you can't let that affect the way that you drive because you don't want to put yourself in a position that is dangerous so that there is, increased risk of you not getting to a patient.
We're 9 miles away, so probably going to be about 13, 14 minutes with this traffic at the very least.
Okay, I'll stay on the line with you as long as I can. So is he conscious at the moment or is he unconscious?
No, he's unconscious.
He's unconscious, okay.
When you're sent to a farm for an injury, you tend to have a relatively high suspicion that it's going to be a significant injury. So the risk to people that have to wait for that help to get there is that in that time they can deteriorate.
If there is a defibrillator available, send somebody to get one just now in case he needs it later. How is he doing? Is he still unconscious?
Yeah, he's still unconscious, yeah.
You have reached your destination.
30 minutes after being tasked, specialist trauma consultant Dave and paramedic Ben have arrived in the rural village of Torrance. Paramedics are already busy on scene stabilising the patient.
Fallen from the roof right down on some machinery and then down. But he's got like grazing now, so I don't know if you want a pelvic binder on or... But that's as far as we've got. That and one set of hobs.
Do you want to have a look at him and I'll have a look in here?
Yeah.
See what you think. When we arrived at the scene, there were a number of bystanders who had been working on the farm with this gentleman.
Afternoon.
I went in to have a look in the barn.
Where was it he fell from?
15 feet or so.
And then landed on the pallet?
Well, we don't know. See this bit of machinery's all snap? Landed here and maybe whacked his head off that.
Okay. I think it's a great advantage to actually be at the scene and visualise what may have happened. It looked like he had probably fallen onto some machinery that was lying on the floor. Who found him?
I was up in the looking at that.
So was he unconscious or anything like that when you got there?
He was having a fit. Aye.
The story that we gleaned from his work colleagues was that he may have actually had some sort of seizure activity around the time when they found him on the floor of the barn.
I'm just going to have a little feel on your neck. Just have me a little feel of your ribs here. Is that painful at all? Nice big deep breath if you can.
He's fallen about 15 feet or so, hasn't he? So probably on his feet when he's come through the roof.
Yeah.
But then might have hit his head off looks like a big jet wash beside it.
Andrew, open your eyes. Can you open your eyes? My name's Ben, I'm with the ambulance. Can you hear me at all? You stick your tongue out for me. He's not following commands, won't stick his tongue out. He has got this wound on his head. He's got potentially blood from his ear, but it could just be a wound in his ear.
Kind of progressively got worse.
We have our kit ready to go, set up as if it would be a mini resuscitation room, and we're essentially taking that direct to the patient. Andrew, open your eyes for me, Andrew. Andrew, open your eyes. We're able to sedate and anaesthetise him and keep him much more comfortable in a much more controlled way, then we're improving the chances of that head injury having a more positive outcome for him.
Just so that everyone's on the same page, so what we're going to do is we're going to do an anaesthetic here in the ambulance. Well, if I could ask that we get one more point of IV access.
Anaesthetising a patient in theatre or in the anaesthetic room in a hospital has risks and dangers. But actually, if you're doing it in a farmyard or even in the back of an ambulance, the inherent risks are actually far greater in terms of potential complications. So we don't take on that decision lightly.
With Andrew unresponsive, the trauma team must sedate him and take over his breathing on scene.
Tell me exactly again what's happened.
Two players going for a ball. He got it first, but the other guy coming through with knees first hit him in the abdominal area.
In Glasgow, at the major trauma desk, calls continue to be assessed from across the country.
Christine, I put immediate transfer in for that EMRS team job for Fort William down to Queen Elizabeth. A moment, Heli 5 are looking at it.
There was about an hour's flight time for them.
In Fort William, a 35-year-old man has broken his leg whilst playing football.
Cheers, thanks. Bye.
What's the job?
Open tib and fib fracture. He's in Fort William at the moment. He's coming down to the Queen Elizabeth.
Paramedics Kerry and Richard will fly more than 100 miles to bring the patient back to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Glasgow for specialist surgery.
I suppose the biggest risk for footballing injuries is you get a lot of lower leg and ankle injuries. If you have damage to the joint, it's a long road to recovery.
Richard, you need to get me airside. Remember, I can't get airside without you.
The biggest challenge is the vast area that we cover and also the weather. I've been on the helicopter flying around in circles, trying to get through low-level cloud, trying to find different ways past hillsides and mountains, and you're trying to find that one way that you can get through. And sometimes you just have to turn around, you just cannot get anywhere near to the patient.
An hour after leaving Glasgow, Richard and Kerry arrive safely in Fort William.
You're David. I'm Kerry. My partner in crime is Richard. So, get a wee story off you guys as well.
Basically, David was playing football and he went in for a tackle and he's close for actually tipping fit.
Okay.
The goalkeeper got there just ahead of me and he was quite a few stone heavier than me and it all landed on top of my ankle. So I just heard the snap and then I turned round and I was dancing on my right foot and my left foot was dangling like that.
I would say I'm definitely a risk taker on the football pitch. Maybe I'll be a little bit more risk averse when I heal up and I go back and play. I certainly wouldn't stick my leg out again when it was the keeper's ball all day.
You get far more slips and trips on a football pitch when it's wet weather.
Best patient ever.
These injuries probably can be exacerbated by the fact that, you know, you're slipping more often. And it's not just you, but it's someone else slipping along with you, so you've got two bodies rather than one.
So what was the final score?
No, the match got abandoned. We were 1-0 up though. Might be going to work in Germany.
Oh, really?
No. It's a shame.
What do you do?
I'm a wind turbine technician.
All right,
Goodness me.
Day of David's accident, I was actually out with my work friends. I was sitting and got the phone call for David. It was funny because it came up on FaceTime and I thought, that's strange, David would never FaceTime me, especially when I was out with my pals or the girls. Like, and sure as God, I opened the FaceTime and he was strapped into an ambulance. I could tell when he was on the phone that he was gutted and he told me that it was a really bad break in his leg.
Am I on?
Sorry, I'm just trying to get a good feel for where we are neurologically.
An hour after his head injury, Farmer Andrew is slipping in and out of consciousness. The trauma team are preparing to sedate him so they can take over his breathing.
So we're just going to give him an anaesthetic like you would have in hospital, just to protect his brain. Did you say your father? What's your name, sir?
William Wilson.
Hello, William. The injury that he's got to his head, we just need to make sure that we do everything we can to kind of control the pressures in his brain so that he doesn't have big spikes or big drops in his blood pressure. And to do that, we're going to take over his breathing for him, put a tube into his airway so that we can ventilate him. And he'll go to the Queen Elizabeth, which is where the neuro centre is, so it's the major trauma centre. All right? Just stay nice and still for us, Andy. Dosages of drugs, opioid.
I'm going to go with alfentanil a milligram.
Okay. Induction.
I'm going to go with 200 of ketamine. He's quite a big lad, yeah. And I'm going to give him 100 of rock.
And 100 of rock. Okay. So laryngoscope.
Ketamine's going in.
Andy, we're just popping you off to sleep. We're giving you some drugs to make you feel a bit sleepy. All right. You're doing really well. The next time you wake up, you'll be at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. You just think of nice places, all right? A holiday on a sunny beach somewhere.
Ketamine's in. We can actually anaesthetise patients early in the pre-hospital setting. It can mean the difference not between just life and death, but it can mean the difference between functioning normally or being left paralysed for the rest of your life. When we intubate a patient, we are actually giving them drugs which will paralyse them and stop them breathing. So we need to do that to allow us to pass a tube down into their lungs so that we can take over their breathing.
Peter, jump in the front. When we go, we'll go round traffic, but super smooth, nice and steady, like we're on our feet the whole way, because we might be on our feet the whole way. All right? You happy with that? Thank you very much.
Can I let you know about a gentleman that we're bringing into you from up Torrance Way? He's a 55-year-old gentleman called Andrew Wilson. And an hour ago, he's fallen through a farm building roof, landing on his feet, we think, but then possibly banging his head off a bit of farm machinery.
That's as far as I can get.
May have had a fit witnessed by some of his work colleagues. Observations-wise, when we got here, he had a reduced GCS with a wound to the left side of his head and possibly some blood from his left ear.
Are you happy in the front, mate? Thank you. We're ready when you are.
2 of morphine and 2 of midazolam. The problem is, if we paralyse somebody, then they stop breathing, and we have to take that over for them. And if we run into complications during that process, then we need to be able to manage those complications, because that patient is not going to maintain their oxygen levels without our assistance. So that adds extra risk.
With the true extent of his head injuries unknown, the trauma team must rush Andrew back to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Glasgow for specialist treatment.
Ambulance service, is the patient breathing?
Yes.
Now tell me exactly what happened.
He's fallen off scaffolding and there's blood.
All right.
My husband is a first aider and he told me to get the first aid kit. There was certainly a pool of blood.
Jason, somebody's fallen off scaffolding in Helensburgh, 084.
Now, if you can, you've got some bandages there. Let's open one up and press it firmly against where the blood's coming from.
In the coastal town of Helensburgh, a 62-year-old man has fallen from a scaffolding unit.
Kind of 30 minutes is about the maximum driving distance you would ask them. Any longer than that to drive, if there is a helicopter available, the helicopter will get them there quicker.
Okay, we don't have a helicopter to send with them, but hey, boy. Thanks, mate.
Do you want to send EMRS by road?
Aye. Give me 2 seconds, right? Emergency call, trauma team by road to Helensburgh. Emergency call, trauma team by road to Helensburgh. Go ahead. Hello, John Paul, it's Kevin here. We have a male fallen off of a scaffolding unit. He is conscious and breathing at the moment.
Thank you. Bye.
High falls are one of the main causes for us being tasked out, and you kind of prepare yourself for substantial blunt trauma, so you're already thinking, how has the patient landed?
EMRS iPhone, red response bag.
With no helicopter available, consultant John Paul must travel 30 minutes by road.
The crew attending is the Arica crew. They are 30 minutes away.
The ambulances are always sent if they're available, because we often are responding by road in a car where we can't convey the patient as well. So really the ambulance service responds to all of these jobs. And the AI first on scene.
I'm thinking it's going to be the Erskine Bridge. Yeah. The crew from Arica might get there first. They had a 30-minute ETA, which is about the same as us.
So unfortunately, there's a road closure in that area from an earlier incident that's resulted in the road being closed.
I'm going to phone the police just to make sure, to find out where the road closure is.
They probably shouldn't go the 82 for Helensburgh, should they?
Well, they would go the 82, then come off at Dumbarton, get through Dumbarton.
Yes, so that was further up.
Aye, it was further up.
But it could cause a bit of an impact
like
on them getting...
Aye.
I just wanted to give you a quick update regarding the traffic situation.
The road is closed in both directions. Would suggest that you get through Dumbarton if your sat-nav is not already suggesting that.
Make you aware that there's probably going to be a wee bit more traffic than usual trying to navigate through that.
Yeah, Kevin, that's visible on the maps as well, but thanks for letting us know.
No worries at all, cheers.
The road closures are problematic. When we're going to Helensburgh or anywhere kind of north of the Erskine Bridge, it's very difficult because that adds an extra probably 15 minutes onto the journey. It was probably a helimed job if there was a helimed.
So there's a few workarounds that we can do.
If we know that the patient has certain injuries or needs certain procedures and there's some obstruction to that happening, that can be a very frustrating experience, because all that any of us ever want to do when we go to work is to do the best thing for our patients.
There's an update coming in from the first crew on scene now.
Trauma team receiving, go ahead.
Hospital. He's got a head injury, legs running, some bleeding either from his ear or from the head injury.
So they're unsure where the blood's coming from at the moment.
You're clear on the right. I think you'll get round him now.
Trauma team there at the moment, 16 minutes away.
In Fort William, Richard and Kerry are preparing to fly David back to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Glasgow after breaking his leg during a football match.
He's funny, he's handsome, he's kind. He's just a nice guy. He's a great, genuine guy.
Thank you so much again, guys. That was really helpful, thank you.
We actually met online, which I'm quite embarrassed about. But their first date, I can remember still how nervous he was. He'd already been in the pub for a couple of pints, I think, to give him some courage. But that was us. Like, since the first date, we've just been together ever since.
The weather changes and it's almost unpredictable. So we can be out in the west coast knowing that a storm's coming and we will fly out, but if whilst we're on the ground that storm has moved in and is overhead, it potentially means that we can't get back to Glasgow.
I think it's down for
The biggest challenges for us in Scotland is rain. It's poor visibility. But if you're in mountainous terrain and the weather starts clouding in on you, it poses a very real risk and danger to the helicopter.
An hour after leaving Fort William, Heli 5 arrives safely at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Glasgow, avoiding the onset of stormy weather.
How you doing, David?
Smashing, how you
Yes,
guys?
smashing, good. That morphine's done the trick then? Taking the edge off.
When the break happened, I realised I had an engagement ring in my car, ready to propose to Siobhan. I was meant to propose the next day, so that was up in the air. The risk that I took on the football pitch just scuppered my plans.
Hi, we have David from Fort William, air ambulance transfer.
Hello, David. I'm Liz. I'm an auxiliary ward. Nice to meet you. Hi, David.
My original plan to propose to Siobhan was the day after the football game. We were going to go for lunch to the Spanish Butcher in the Merchant City. And after that, I thought we could take a walk around. I was probably going to do it outside High Street where I first met her. Whenever it felt right, basically, or basically whenever I had the courage.
Aye, babe, how's it going? Be able to come like any time after, I think it was about 2 o'clock, he said. Right, cheers, darling, love you.
In the coastal town of Helensburgh, a 62-year-old man has fallen from scaffolding.
I've reached your destination. Trauma team on scene.
The trauma team have arrived on scene 29 minutes after being tasked by road from Glasgow.
I can go and ask him.
Hello.
Hiya,
How you doing?
What's your chap's name?
Andy.
Andy, how you doing, pal?
I've had better days.
So Andy, I'm John Paul. I'm going to check you over just now. Is this reasonably secure then? Am I happy? So, where are you sore just now?
Shoulder blade, right-hand side.
Okay.
I was in the Navy for 17 years, and I now am a massage, remedial and sports therapist. So anybody who's got any injuries, I look after them.
Did you land onto the vehicle or did you land on the ground?
No, the scaffolding moved away and I fell down the gap.
Okay.
The accident happened at my best friend's house. I just do odd jobs for her every now and again.
Do you remember landing?
Yes, remember landing.
Yeah, nice one. Moving your fingers okay on that hand? Good.
Oh, but I can't even move it.
Okay. Have you been up at all since this happened?
No.
He was still in the circumstance in which he'd fallen, which always gives me pause as to why has he not moved himself out of there.
Will you keep nice in the middle just now?
Okay. Is there a long bone fracture which is too painful for him to move, or has he fractured his spine and is unable to move?
Some morphine.
Thank you.
It has an M on it.
That's great.
I've also got the Ondansetron.
That's great. Right, Andy. Borrow this left arm just now.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just going to give you some morphine.
Okay.
You might feel a little dizzy and a little lightheaded. That's completely normal.
Okay.
So he's obviously given himself a head injury, and from the high fall, he's got pain in his scapula, his shoulder blade, and that can fracture if you fall from that. But that can also mean that there's hidden injuries inside. We'll get him, scooped him up onto the stretcher, move him into the ambulance, and I would recommend that we take him along to the Queen Elizabeth, and that has all the trauma services that he might need, particularly if he's got a significant chest injury.
Try and make it as gentle as possible.
I've worked hard for the last few years because my plan was to build up my business and then hopefully pass it on to somebody. My partner lives in Germany, and I want to be able to spend a lot more time with her.
Quite a lot of scrapes in that right elbow, Andy. Yeah, just here.
Doesn't like it looks good for the camera, doesn't it?
Evidently. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth, this is John Paul from the trauma team giving you your 10-minute access.
That's great, we'll see you on resource in 10 minutes, over and out.
Andy will be transferred to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, where the full extent of his injuries will be assessed. Farmer Andrew has arrived at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital after falling 15 feet from the roof of a barn.
Lovely, just nice and steady as we come in.
He's fallen from a height, he's landed on his legs, he's fallen over, he was agitated the skin, but they intubated and ventilated him at the time, so well, hopefully we can go straight to CT.
If we can actually anaesthetise patients early, you're providing protection for the brain until that patient has a CT scan, which will then tell us what the injury is, and or they then have surgery, depending on what the actual diagnosis is.
So his airway's okay, his cardiovascular, he's fine, he's got a vent flowing in, and he's void of trousers. Right, we can go straight to CT then. We'll take some rocky road in with us. There you go.
I can think of many challenging scenarios over the years. Significant road traffic collisions at the side of lochsides where access is difficult. I've had Sea King helicopters having to land half in the water, half on the beach, and certainly there are almost too many of those clinical scenarios to mention, but all of them were very challenging in their own way.
Just go slow, go slow, go slow. Just disconnect.
That's another 2 midazolam. The CT images are on the computer screen pretty much in front of us as the scans are being done. It became immediately evident that he had a significant head injury.
Isotonic, hypotonic.
1, 2, 3.
The predicting outcome I've found over the years is always very difficult, but the brain injury could get a lot worse. With a serious head injury, so this patient needs a definitive care in the hospital.
Right, that's us.
With life-changing brain injuries a possibility, Andrew will remain in an induced coma until the extent of the damage becomes clearer. At the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Glasgow, Andy has arrived after falling from scaffolding in Helensburgh.
Okay, Grant. There are a certain group of middle-aged blokes, often in heavy jobs, firefighters, cops, farmers, scaffolders, who will tend to want to put a brave face on it. And that can make life difficult because you'll often then maybe underestimate their injury but also maybe underestimate the treatment that they need. Andy, see with your mechanism, we'll get some plain x-rays of your shoulder and here. Depending on what this looks like, my orthopedic colleagues might want a scan of this area.
Sure.
But we'll top up your pain relief before we do any of this. Oh, is that a wee bit of surgical emphysema?
The ear here?
Yeah. Certainly the scapula's gone.
Yeah.
That there just looks a wee bit suspicious of there. Bones like the scapula rarely break. So when you see an injury like that, you go, there's probably more things damaged than what we're immediately seeing. So it forces you to have a wider look. And it would often be a flag to do some additional x-rays and additional imaging. Okay, Andy, how's your pain? You okay to go?
I'm fine. It's one of those things that just moved slightly and one thing led to another and gravity took its toll.
And yeah, that gravity's a bugger, isn't it? Okay, Andy?
Yes.
Yeah, he has got surgical emphysema, definitely. So he's maybe just had a wee leak, but the lung's up, it's well up. Surgical emphysema is where air has leaked into the tissues just underneath the skin. It feels like bubble wrap, and air has come out of an air-filled cavity somewhere in the body. The usual cause for us in trauma is a punctured lung. Scan reports are back, and head's absolutely fine. Neck looks okay. There's a broken rib, like we thought, on the right side. There's this complex injury to your scapula.
Okay.
And there's a tiny little leak of air, as we thought, in the tissues, but the lung itself looks okay.
Okay.
Heart, internal organs, everything else, fine.
Right.
And importantly, your spine is okay.
Great. I was lying there waiting for results. All I could think about was, Sonia, sorry, I can't come over to Germany now.
What happened?
I fell. I fell off scaffolding, 5 meters or something, 4 or 5 meters, smacked straight down onto the driveway. The first thing Sonia said to me when she heard was, she said, I just wish I could be there, I wish I could come to see you. So she was quite upset at the fact that she was so far away in Germany. They're taking me up to the ward soon, so I'll give you a call a bit later, yeah?
Is it hurting? Yeah.
If I don't move, I'm okay. All right, take care. Bye. Living a long-distance relationship has been very difficult, and we've done it now for 15 years. I can't wait to see her again.
Andy will be taken for further observation and treatment on his broken scapula. David is awaiting emergency surgery at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital after breaking his leg during a football match in Fort William.
See you later.
Can you get me my engagement ring over to me as soon as then?
Yes.
Obviously, due to unforeseen circumstances, I've thought I'll get my beautiful sister here to come down and drop the ring off before Siobhan gets here, and now I can propose to her in a hospital. It's really the perfect scenario, isn't it? So you've got to take these opportunities.
Okay, good luck, Uncle David.
Thank you. So she's just parking her car. She's trying to find to park her car, so the time to park and get here. I don't know, man. I'm nervous now. I'm nervous now. All right, babe. I'm gonna get it now.
Oh no, so much.
Okay.
Oh, baby, all right.
See, on the way up, mind there was the fatality on the road before. I'm like, that, see, during it, when I was hopping on my head, like, hopping on my leg, I was like, this is rubbish and that, but at least I'm not dead. That's what I was thinking. It's just everything goes before you, and you're like, I'm just glad that I just wanted to see you straight away. And I thought, do you know what? I can't even get down on one knee anymore, so I'm just going to need to do it like this. Siobhan Ferry, you're the best thing that ever happened to me, darling. Would you want to marry me?
Of course.
so beautiful. Oh. When David proposed, it was just completely surreal. It was just a complete shock. Did not see that coming at all.
Jim, and I'm actually thinking the aircraft could probably be over there in about, what, 20 minutes?
Yeah, but it's whether it's accessible for heli too, though.
Anybody who works on the front line has got to be open to some risk, because you're ultimately putting yourself into a situation to help others.
We don't really know what's going on.
No. There is a fine line between saving life and putting more lives at risk. It can become quite thought-provoking when you know someone is seriously injured and you can't go.
Local crew are very aware of it. He says there's nowhere any heli will get anywhere near it because of the marshlands, and it's quite treacherous, steeping banks.
I think coping with those decisions is ultimately knowing that you're trying to do the best that you can for someone, but there are some risks that unfortunately just aren't worth taking. Coast Guard then?
Aye.
Coast Guard.
We stand down, over. Trauma desk out.
I am very lucky to be still here, with little forgetfulness of names maybe, but that's about it. The morning of the accident, we went to repair a gutter, and it was during the preparation that I fell through the hole in the roof. And I don't remember a thing after that until 2 or 3 days later, until I wakened up from the induced coma. Head injury was the worst injury, but I don't think there's anything really long-term other than the possibility that I've got tinnitus in the left-hand ear.
Everything's coming along good with wedding plans. Got my dress, got a makeup artist, got a hairdresser, all the important things.
Asking Siobhan to marry me, I was very confident. I knew it was the right thing to do, and I knew she would say yes.
We will get married, and then we hope to then buy a house and hopefully start a family. Hopefully it all goes to plan.
I knew when the accident happened that this is going to take a long time to heal. They've put a rod from my knee down to my ankle and plated it.
He felt silly when the accident happened, but as I says to him, it's just one of these freak accidents, so you can't really stop doing things because of it. It's just happened.
In my 12-week scan, the surgeon confirmed that everything was healing up nicely. I should be able to run again mid-March. I should be able to kick a ball again for Rannick mid-May. So I'm just building my leg up, and I'll get there for March and May, 100%.
Hey, what was your day like at work?
We had no internet connection, also.
Oh, goodness me. Tell you what, I miss you. Living here by myself, on my own, and trying to recover from the injury, I couldn't do certain things. I know it's going to take a few more months yet. I'm surviving it, but it could have had a completely different outcome. The accident really, for me, is about other people and how I have affected other people. You've only got one life, and at the end of the day, one thing that I want to do is to spend more time with Sonia in Germany. That is something which I need to address more, and I'm going to take early retirement from my work. It's not all about how much money you're earning. Time is precious. You've got to grab life by the horns and do it now, because if you don't, tomorrow may never come.
Ambulance service.
Hi there. We have a diver that's suffering from the bends.
The bends?
Yeah. So we need the ambulance at our local pier.
Oh my God. We can't just magic up these extra resources.
End call. End call. End call. End call. End call.